Steve Clarke has announced his first Scotland squad of 2025, and there is major surprises. Welcome back to Fog Football, and let's get stuck straight into it. We have got playoffs against Greece, and we have got a Scotland squad of football in Shankland. Shock or Uno? I think that is the shock of the squad.
I mean, it's a shock, but if Lawrence Shankland was ever going to get dropped for the squad, I think it probably would be this season. Form has been out the window for the beginning. I mean, I think he's beginning to play better now, but he's still not adding the goals. And that was a big reason why people were saying you have to start Shankland, just because of the goals that he had over Adams and Dykes. Well, I still think Shankland at the moment I think he's playing well, and he's definitely adding, I think, to Hearts' decent run this year, but he's not delivering the goals, and I'm still surprised he's not in it. Like, I thought Clarke would have picked him. Didn't expect him to start, but I thought Shankland was still good enough to be in the squad. But maybe that just goes to show you that probably the only two, concrete strikers for Scotland are Adams and Dykes. And unless you're at the top of your game, then you're probably not going to get picked.
Well, Dykes ain't in there. He's injured, of course.
Well, obviously, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Aye.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying, I think Dykes can still be shite and get called in.
But why is that, though?
I don't know. Obviously, Steve Clarke favours
He's got his favourites, right? Let's start off with the goalies. So there is no, what do you call him? Sander Clark. There is no Sander Clark. Angus Gunn also not in there. Is Angus Gunn still injured? I couldn't tell you. But we've got Craig Gordon. Not many people's going to complain about him. Liam Kelly, who did play a few games, my opinion, apart from the Hibs goal to make it 3 each at Easter Road, didn't really do a foot wrong for Rangers. Then we've got Kieran Slicker. No idea who this guy is, but he plays for Ipswich, who are destined to go down in the Premier League.
I'm not saying I don't want Craig Gordon in the team, but I mean, he is 42. I think they need to.
My problem with Gordon is, right,
42 or 41.
Is he our best goalie? Yes. But if there's not a realistic chance of him making the World Cup, then what's the point of him being here?
I mean, you could argue he could help us get to the World Cup. If he is the best goalkeeper right now, then he could be the difference between us qualifying and not qualifying. But I think you would like to qualify for the World Cup and take the number one keeper that got you there to the tournament. I don't think it would be good. I mean, obviously we would just take qualifying, 100%, but you don't want too much change. And that would be a big change, I think, if he's the keeper that qualifies you for the tournament and plays the majority of the games, but then at the tournament you're going with someone totally different.
No, I agree, and I think with Craig Gordon, he should have played in the last.
Like when you look back at the Euros, that's probably why Steve Clarke stuck with David Marshall. You probably knew at the Euros that David Marshall was not our best choice, but he probably done it half because of loyalty and half because he's thought, well, David Marshall was the keeper that was in the nets when we got there, and he didn't want to change up a partnership at the back that was obviously successful. But sometimes you need change. Sometimes a manager needs to be not afraid to change things up.
I'm going to guess that Angus Gunn is injured, or else he would be here.
Yeah, well, we can debate whether Angus Gunn is no longer the number one, but I can't imagine that he would have dropped completely out of the squad altogether.
No, me neither. So that's your 3 goalies. Moving into defenders, we've got Grant Hanley, Jack Hendry, Max Johnson, McKenna, Porteous, Ralston, Robertson, Suter, and Kieran Tierney. So no Greg Taylor.
I mean, could it also be just the fact that maybe if he doesn't think Gunn's going to play, then he would just rather give the experience to a different keeper being in the Scotland camp and set up?
It could be that.
Like, let's say he planned on playing Angus Gunn for both of these games. There's no point really Craig Gordon being there. He's been it, done there, experienced it, got the t-shirt. I'm just trying to think inside the mind of Steve Clarke. Maybe he's thought, if I'm only going to go with Craig Gordon, I'll give an opportunity to a keeper to come and be involved that normally wouldn't get that chance.
Well, that could be it. In terms of defenders, I'm trying to think who's missed out. Can you think off the top of your head? I mean, Greg Taylor's the only one that I can really think of that's missed out, to be honest. You've got Hanley, Hendry, McKenna, Porteous and Suter as your 5 centre-backs.
I think Greg Taylor's at an important point in his career, and he probably will have to leave Celtic, I think, to save his Scotland career.
I think there's no saving it, I'll be honest. I mean, you've got Tierney and Robertson ahead of you. And even when Robertson drops off, is he going to drop off to a level where he's below Greg Taylor? Probably not. So I'm going to have to... if he gets regular...
Well, hold on here. He's more chance of getting back in the Scotland team if he's a first team somewhere else than if he's sitting on the bench playing second fiddle to Kieran Tierney.
Oh, I'm not denying that, but I just don't. I think Greg Taylor's Celtic career's done. I also think his Scotland career's done.
Fair enough.
Sorry for him, but good to see Tierney back. Obviously, I doesn't really play with Arsenal anymore. Suter back, that's good. It's just that right side of defence. We've got Ralston, man. I just wish Hickey and Patterson were back, but they're not. But we do have Max Johnston in there for a wee bit of competition for Ralston. Into the midfield, we've got Ryan Christie, Lewis Ferguson, Billy Gilmore. Drum roll, please. Lennon Miller, the £10 million man's in there. John McGinn, Kenny McLean, and Scott McTominay. So Kenny McLean, I'm sorry, but this guy, it's time to move on.
I think when you're getting in any national team at Lenny Miller's age, then that shows that you're a good player.
Yep.
It might help Motherwell get closer to that 10 million that they want.
I mean, Ryan Christie, I think, has been one of the players of the season in the Premier League. Really good for Bournemouth, reason why they're up there. Lewis Ferguson doing Lewis Ferguson stuff. The two Napoli boys. I'll
be surprised. I'll be really surprised if Miller gets any game time. But I would like to see him get brought on. See if we're winning one of the games, or
like 3-1 or whatever.
Or even if we're losing one of the games 3-1, it doesn't look like we're going to get anything.
Just bring, yeah.
There's no harm in bringing him on, is there? You know, I'd rather see Lennon Miller come on for 15 minutes than someone who's already got like 50. Like, they'll see if you've got like 20 minutes to go, or 50, even 10 minutes to go, and you've one substitute left, and it's between Kenny McLean and Lennon Miller. Like, you know what Kenny McLean's got?
No, is he right?
Why wouldn't you attempt to bring on Miller?
No disrespect to Motherwell, right? But Lennon Miller's just played with Motherwell players his career. Seeing him next to, you know, Billy Gilmore, McTominay, McGinn, Christie, Ferguson. I mean, honestly, I'd love a world where, you know, he just goes, you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to play Ferguson, Gilmore, Miller, because that's like the three really youthful players, and maybe you'll begin to see, maybe Motherwell can add a few more million onto their price tag if he fucking does brilliantly across these two games, but like you said, I don't think he's going to get the minutes. So we'll move on into the forward area. Shea Adams, Tommy Conway, Kevin Nisbet, and James Wilson. So James Wilson's made the squad. Hearts have a representative in there. No Ben Doak, he's injured. No Dykes, he's injured. Shankland's just shite apparently, so he's
not in there. I wonder how Shankland
there.
feels about being replaced by his 17-year-old, 18-year-old teammate.
Oh, I'm sure he doesn't mind, but you know what? If it's based off form and it's based off
sure, goals, he doesn't mind. He doesn't mind that he's not in the Scotland squad anymore.
Well, I think he'd rather. But
I'm sure he doesn't mind. What?
Well, it's not the end all be all squad, is it?
Alright, I'm sure he doesn't mind.
Oh, right, Hearts man, does he mind? You've got the inside fucking scoop then.
See if someone takes £500 at your bank account without your knowledge, you don't mind. I mean, like
on the topic of money, I've got remind me after this fair. I've got something to say, something great. Well, potentially, but yeah, in terms of these front four, Shea Adams, he's always there. Tommy Conway, always there. Well, I say always there. He's been there pretty much for like the past bunch of squads, never really doing much. And Nisbet, let's be honest, man. Seeing Nisbet a month ago, how everyone was saying how shit he is. He looks a shadow of the former player he was.
Look, I have no complaints. Nisbet getting in the squad. Do I think Nisbet's better than Shankland? No, I don't. Do I think Nisbet right now is in better form and more deserving of a call-up? Yes, I do.
We've got to bear in mind, though, Shankland's playing as like a 10. And he's never going to get picked to start as a 10 for Scotland.
Yeah, but I just think Nisbet with his goals alone, I think deserves his recall.
Yep. Anyway.
He was asked about it, though, and he says that, you know, I wasn't on his mind, but he'll be on his mind now.
It's a shame that Nicky Cadden ain't in, because I genuinely believe he didn't pick up that injury against Celtic.
Yeah, I think he could have started.
Yep, I would like to have seen him on the wing. So, unfortunate for him, but you know, it's not the end of the world. I'm sure he can come back and get in it at some point later down the line. But anyway, folks, that is it for the Scotland squad. Are you looking forward to these two games?
I am. It's been a while. I am,
because club is killing me.
Yeah. Sometimes you don't really appreciate international football until you go without it for a long time. And it's been a very long time since we last seen Scotland play. I believe it was like October, maybe even longer than that. It's the last time we've seen Scotland play. Feels like a long time. I think it was November. Anyway, it's been about 4 months, so.
Aye, we'll see how it goes, guys. But in a few weeks, obviously, until then, you know, Rangers, Fenerbahce, and then another Dundee derby and an Old Firm derby at the weekend. Looking forward to it all. But until next time, peace.